And welcome back. It's time for the GTO Winston Cup Series. We are back here at Blue Moon Bay Speedway for this week's race. And as always, I'm joined here in the booth by Rashad Metz. How are you doing tonight, Rashad?
I'm doing great, Miles. Once again, super duper excited about today's race. I say that every week, but I'm being honest.
Yeah, we got a stacked field full of talent here tonight. I mean, past Cup champions, past Daytona 500 winners, some just basically the drivers that wrote the history books from the early 2000s are in this race here tonight. So, I mean, what do you think we have in store here for this race at Blue Moon? We have not seen this series hit this track. We have not seen the Winston Cup race here. What do you think we have in store?
I think we're going to settle in. I think it's going to be a Pocono-esque type of racetrack. Very different corners, three very different corners. We have a really tight turn one, a flat-out turn two, and then we have a very flat turn three. So I'm very interested. It might race like Pocono, but we have seen a lot of Blue Moon races that have seemed kind of like pack races. So I think we're in for a little bit of a surprise.
We got a tough grid here today, and we had a fuel mileage race last week at Watkins Glen, and Mark Martin ran out of fuel on the last turn, so we never know what could happen here. We thought Mark Martin was going to run away with it at the end, ended up just being a couple hundred feet short on, or 100 feet short on gas, so we never know what's going to happen here at Blue Moon Bay, and this should be a very, very exciting race. How do you think the fuel strategy and tire wear is going to affect this race?
I think the tire wear and strategy is going to be very, very pivotal in this race. I feel like with the drastically different corners, I feel like wanting a fresh set of tires is going to be very, very important due to the very flat turn three. That's the run to the line, and that's the part you have to get right. So that's the track. That's the part of the track that requires the most grip and the most traction. So I feel like whoever has who saves their stuff, gets their tires when they need to get them, is going to be very, very fast this race.
Well, let's waste no more time. Let's get down to the Mets painting grid walk. And starting on pole and only his second career start is Jeff Burton, the number 99 Exide car. He started last week at the Glen, and here he is. He won his first career pole in the Winston Cup Series here at Blue Moon Bay Speedway. So look for Jeff Burton to try to keep that Ford Taurus up front. He has a really, really fast car this weekend. It says he can win this thing if he tries. So hopefully he can win the race here tonight.
We have Dale Jr. starting P2. Really good starting position for him at this track. He says his car has a lot of speed, so hopefully we can see him get a better performance than he did last week. He went for a little bit of an off strategy, a little bit of risk last race, but hopefully he gets his strategy down to a science and might be able to come out with a better finish.
Rolling off P3 is Dale Jarrett in that Robert Yates Racing number 88 UPS car. Dale Jarrett did not have that fast of a car last weekend at the Glen. He tried a different strategy than everyone else. Ended up not working out well for him in the end, so he's looking to bounce back here and have a good run in that UPS Taurus. So look for Jarrett to be running up front starting in P3.
Rolling off next, we have the number 5 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet of Terry Labonte. Terry Labonte was actually very fast in getting the qualifying effort he wanted last week, but he gained some speed, gained some time, and gained 3 positions last race from his starting position due to strategy and also due to speed. So I think Terry Labonte is somebody we definitely really need to keep our eye on in today's race.
Rolling off right behind them is Casey Kane. Casey Kane only making his second start here in the GTO Winston Cup Series. And them Dodgers have been fast all season. Won the first 2 races of the season. He's hoping to add on their third win for Dodge here tonight. But he's got some work to do starting mid-pack. So hopefully he can get that Everham Motorsports car up front.
Well, next we have Bobby Labonte. Bobby Labonte is a driver that showed a lot of speed last race at Watkins Glen. Not really the qualifying effort that he wanted, but he's still in the top half of the field. Hope to see Bobby Labonte battle and lead those Pontiacs into victory lane for the first time. So I'm really looking forward to see what Bobby can do this race.
Rolling off behind him is Dale Earnhardt Sr. in that number 3 Goodwrench service car. He's had a really, really fast Monte Carlo all weekend. Didn't get the qualifying effort that he wanted, but he said with some good strategy and stuff, he can get that Richard Childress racing machine up front for this race. So look for the number 3 and the Intimidator to be making their way through the field.
Rolling off next at number 12 of that Alto Dodge of Ryan Newman. You really can't count Ryan Newman out at any racetrack. He's the only driver with 2 wins to the season. Been very, very fast each and every week, but not very fast at Watkins Glen. Had some problems with strategy, not the car that he really wanted. But today, I think that team collaborated, had some conversation. I think they're going to come back faster than they were last week.
Rolling off right behind them is Mark Martin, the heartbreaker last week at Watkins Glen. He ran out of gas within 100 feet of the start-finish line. He said he hoping to bounce back this week. He did not get the qualifying effort that he wanted, but he said with some pit strategy, that Roush Racing number 6 is really, really fast, so he's definitely going to be a hard car to beat.
Rolling off next up, the number 2 of Rusty Wallace. Rusty Wallace not having the results he wanted, not having the season that he wanted this year. But hopefully Rusty can battle back today and get some better track position. I think he's going to be in a lot of communication with his teammates. He's been talking to Ryan Newman about setups, discussing things like that. And hopefully those drivers can find their way. Rusty Wallace can find his way closer to the front.
Run off behind them is Tony Stewart, the rookie in that number 20 Pontiac Grand Prix. He said he's had a pretty fast Home Depot compared to the previous weeks, but he's definitely not where he wants to be. He said that things been really, really slow lately, has not had luck go his way, so hopefully he can turn things around. Let's see how he can do here today at Blue Moon Bay.
We have rolling on next. We have Ward Burton at number 22, Caterpillar Dodge. Ward Burton is a guy that's been very fast on these shorter tracks, and now he's been up and he's got a bigger racetrack to handle. But with these short tracks, I think he's a short track S-style corners that might prove dividends for Ward Burton. The last race we saw Ward Burton not have the car that he wanted to, but he raced his way through the field through strategy, but also adjustments. So hopefully Ward Burton can continue that good string of communication with his team, get a better adjustment into the car, and hopefully find his way closer to the front.
Rolling off right behind him is Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson has not found the good runs that he's needed to so far this season. Didn't run good at Daytona, didn't run good at the Glen, did not have that great of a run at Northern Iowa Speedway, but he thinks he's got a pretty fast car here today. Him and Shaq and House have been working on some strategy plans here for today at Blue Moon Bay, so he said he's going to be shooting for the stars, and they're going to be making some very, very different pit strategies. So look for the 48 to be making some big moves under green flag pit stops.
Right now, rolling off, we have the number 24 DuPont Chevrolet of Jeff Gordon, winner of last week's race at the Glen. Really interesting finish for Jeff Gordon, just saved enough fuel. So I feel like Jeff Gordon, with that strategy and that ability to save that fuel in the times that he needs to save it, I feel like he's going to find his way towards the front. But I really, really hope they can find a better adjustment in that car. Really not happy with how the car's running, not happy with the balance necessarily. But I really hope Jeff Gordon can bounce back from this poor qualifying effort.
Rolling off P last, the number 97 Roush Racing Taurus of Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch has definitely not had the speed he wanted to this weekend here at Blue Moon Bay. Said it's a really, really tricky track for him. He gets the cars to handle well in 1 and 2, but has not figured out turn 3 yet. So he says he's going to try to make some adjustments. The crew chief and the crew are going to work hard under those green flag pit stops to see what they can do to make that 97 car run toward the front. That's it for your Mets Painting Grid Walk. Is there anything else you would like to add, Rashad, before we get this thing underway?
Well, this race is brought to you by Mets Painting, where improvement is our specialty.
And these drivers definitely going to be rubbing some paint off of the wall and rubbing some paint off of each other. So hopefully Mets Painting can fix the walls after this race, and as well as fixing the cars up a little bit. Let's get down to it. Let's get this thing underway. We're going to have a 20-lap main event here. Pit strategy is going to be key here. Boogity, 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 and we are racing here at Blue Moon Bay Speedway.
Jeff Burton gets a great start, but here comes Dale Earnhardt Jr. trying to sneak to the outside. But look at, wow, it's a lot of cars fanning out here. Everybody's being super aggressive on the out of the gate, bumping and banging. Dale Jarrett trying to move.
Gordon around the outside and the back, already picked up over 5 spots.
Jeff Gordon is hunting today. Look at Dale Jarrett moving his way up to P2 early on in the race, trying to go for the lead. I think this is
side by side. Ooh, gets blocked.
I think this start is really, really important for these drivers. Before the race single files out, we got to take advantage of those times where drivers are side by side and a little slower through the corners than usual.
But Jarrett to the bottom, fighting for the lead. He's going to get there. No, he's not.
His little bit of nudge got blocked mid-corner. Look how close these drivers get. Look at the loose moment by Dale Jr. on the exit of turn 3. But once these drivers starting to settle into these races, they're going to be it's going to be really important that they start communicating with their crew chiefs on what's the best strategy for them this race per their position. Should they start saving fuel? Should they save tires? What should they be thinking about? What do you think these drivers should be looking at right now, Miles, heading into the beginning of this race?
Which you need to learn all you can, because practice and qualifying helps you out a lot, but these guys have not been in race trim yet, so they got to learn how these cars handle, how these old NASCAR stock cars handle around this tricky 3-turn racetrack, because you may have the best car in turn 1, but you're definitely not going to handle the same in turns 2 and 3, since this is totally different at each end of the racetrack. So these drivers are going to be constantly adjusting to see what they can do to make their car better.
I completely understand that, Miles. When it comes to adjustments and things like that, what corner do you think these drivers need to tune their car towards? What do you think is the corner that's going to allow that these drivers need to get right every single time? What corner would you say that is?
Since turn 2 is mostly a flat-out track, I think I mainly focus on that final turn, that run to the line. Because it doesn't matter where you're at on the rest of the rest of the race. All that matters is where you're at on that last lap. If you can get a good run off that final turn, then you can win this thing. So I'm setting that thing up to be fast in that
wow,
flat.
Casey Kane sideways. A little bit of contact from Terry Labonte, I think.
Let's take another look at it, though. Let's see what happened. Got both of the Labonte brothers there. Ooh, both. Ooh, nails his quarter panel.
He is not very happy about that. Really killed his run down the back straightaway. He's going to get
back to 6th.
Attacked from behind from Ryan Newman, but Jeff Burton still is leading this race.
But Jeff Gordon is up 8 positions since the start of the race. Started back there. Man, he's picked up some spots.
Jeff Gordon has been picking drivers off lap after lap, but Dale Jarrett is still just trying to get to the back bumper of Jeff Burton here. SC passing is not the easiest, but as you see these drivers, they start to fan out after they get out of turn 3.
Jeff Gordon's in the top 5.
Definitely these drivers start to get their runs out of turn 3. I think Jeff Gordon has really got his car set up here. I think he was in great communication.
Fastest lap so far in the race.
To the inside on the quarter panel of Bobby Labonte gets a nice run. Jeff Gordon is really fast. One of the very few drivers that can really use that inside of turn 1. Look at him getting. Jeff Gordon is fast.
Dale Jarrett's now being challenged for second by Dale Earnhardt Jr. And Earnhardt's going to take it, and he's going to pull Jeff Gordon along with him.
Jeff Gordon is into the top 3.
4 laps in, and he's picked up 13 spots on the racetrack. What a race for Jeff Gordon so far.
Jeff Gordon has got that thing handling beautifully. Only 4 laps into the race, Jeff Gordon was in the back. He was really struggling with that car through qualifying and practice, and finally got it kind of dialed in after some
trying to go for the lead here.
He's trying to work that inside lane, and he
gets there side by side. He's going to clear him. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is your new leader at Blue Moon Bay.
What a great move by Dale Earnhardt Jr. Really got to take advantage of that. The thing that's so complicated about turn 1 is if you get, if contact happens in the middle of that corner, it can really kill your run down the back straightaway and leave you vulnerable to some potential attacks from behind. As you see, look at the cars piling up behind Jeff Burton after he got slowed up. But Jeff Gordon is not somebody that's going to sit back behind a driver. So really looking forward to seeing what he's doing. I think these drivers are coming in for pit stops.
They're coming in for pit stops. Earnhardt's going to go in. All the leaders are going to come in. See if anyone else will stay on the racetrack. The entire field is going to go on to pit road. Will they take tires?
The tire wear is looking like. Tire wear is not bad on Jeff Gordon's car or any of these drivers' cars. They're just coming to come in and get a little bit of get some fuel and maybe get back on track.
All these drivers getting full tanks of gas, most likely to, in order to make it as far in this race as they can. Everyone filling up their car. Let's see who can win the race off of pit road. All these teams.
Important. With the very slow and the very minimal passing opportunity that you get on this racetrack, getting out of pit road first is going to be crucial. And Dale Jr. with a great pit stop.
Terry Labonte, I believe, jumped a couple positions.
Jumped his brother. Jeff Gordon comes out third. Dale Jr. has a gap now to the second place driver of Jeff Burton.
Dale Jarrett starting that third spot, now back to sixth. Got caught up in some mess right before those green flag pit stops, so he's looking to bounce back a little bit here. Has a fast car here today. Hopefully he can pick some spots back up.
As they're settling down into the groove of the race, a lot more single filed out, a lot more spread out. These drivers are going to have to start picking their opportunities of passing very wisely. It's a lot low pressure. I think this is when the race starts shifting into more of a strategy race, when these drivers are really in communication with their crew chiefs, trying to make sure if they put enough fuel in the car. It's not very easy to put 100% fuel in these race cars because you kind of don't have a limit on how much gas you put in there. You just got to keep pouring there, and hopefully you got enough because you want to get your driver back on track at the same time these other guys get out. So hopefully these drivers put enough fuel in. But look at Rusty Wallace trying to pass his teammate. Getting a little aggressive.
Contact there. Ooh, it's a 3 wide back there for a second between Burton, Stewart, and Johnson's getting passed by Mark
Johnson. Johnson is not having the car that he wants to have today. Neither is Mark Martin, but Mark Martin's trying to go to the inside of Jimmy Johnson here.
So actually
4/10 up.
Sector back there, so.
Dale Jr. is pulling away right now, trying to
Looks
build
like
a little bit
they're
of a
about to have
comfortable
a
gap.
little race for that second spot, which will
Jeff
definitely
Gordon is
help
creeping.
out Junior's situation up front.
What do you think, as the leader of the race, Dale Jr. is thinking about right now? What do you think is on his mind?
Just try to settle in and make some good laps times here. We still got a long way to go in this thing. See Rusty Wallace trying to make some passes here on his teammate again. But really just settle into a groove, save fuel and stuff where you can. Ooh, and we got a battle for the lead yet again.
Ooh, I wonder what happened to slow Dale Jr. up so much. He might be going into more of a fuel save
He's trying to hang it on the outside. Haven't seen no drivers make a pass on the outside. Ooh, Gordon dives it down to the inside, into everyone, but rubs Burton up the track.
Side by side down the straightaway, clears him.
A 3-car battle now for the lead. Burton gonna tuck in behind Jeff Gordon. 2 Chevrolets.
Oh, I think he about to go 3 wide.
3
wide to turn one for the lead.
Everyone pushed up the track.
Oh, man.
Who's gonna come out on top? Still side by side between Jeff Burton and Junior.
Still by neck and neck down the back straightaway. This is Gordon's chance. If Gordon tucks into that slipstream, he might have a shot at him in turn 3 and 4.
He's still there. Gordon's getting a run on these two, though.
Uh-oh.
Still side by side.
Is he going to stick it in there? Gordon might stick it in there.
Gordon looking to the inside. Oh, never mind. He gives Burton a little shot to the lead.
Oh, goes to the inside.
Goes to the inside. Gordon is your new leader.
That was well played by Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon tucked in, gave Jeff Burton a nudge on the inside. Jeff Burton cleared the leader, but he got a little bit tight on the exit of the corner, a little bit loose, maybe as well, due to the punch in the rear bumper that Jeff Gordon gave him. And now Jeff Gordon is building himself one hell of a lead.
And we got some battles going on all over the track. Here goes the Intimidator. He intimidated Ryan Newman out of the way.
Where did Rusty Wallace go?
Rusty Wallace has dropped back to 10th. Definitely something must have happened there.
Rusty Wallace was not happy with his teammate because Ryan Newman was making himself very, very hard to pass in Ryan Newman-esque fashion.
So we got a little battle here for 3rd spot. Terry Labonte trying to make a pass on Dale Jarrett. Ooh, Dale Jarrett checked up a little bit.
I think the tire wear. I think your driver's going to be starting to look towards pit stops, and here they come.
Here we go, green flag pit stops. Everyone's going to be coming down the pit lane to get 4 fresh tires.
Wait,
actually, Casey Kane has stayed out on the racetrack. That Ray Everham, number 9, is the only car on the racetrack. Now, this may actually end up hurting him because you figure when you're running single file, you have the draft, so you are going a lot faster in that slipstream than, say, Jeff Gordon and all of them were by yourself. So this could actually end up hurting him in the long run.
I think this was a mistake by Casey Kane to stay out right now. But he had enough fuel, so We got to see what happens. I think it's going to put him on a real awkward off strategy here for this race. So he saved enough gas. I mean, I don't know. I feel like he should have came in and pitted and just topped off. He could have jumped some cars in pit lane and still been in the slipstream of the main train. But now he might come out after the pack.
Casey Kane, the leader to pit road. Will he take tires? Nobody else in that other lead group took tires. They're still out on the tires that they started the race with, as we are now halfway through.
I really want to hear what's going on in the headset and the crew chief of Casey Kane here. What are they talking about? This is a very interesting train. He's not taking tires either. He's taking fuel. Going to fill up.
Where
Jeff Gordon
will he
didn't quite fill up.
Cycle out?
Jeff Gordon, really fast today.
It did not get a starting position he wanted, and now he is up front. Probably about to be leading this thing because I doubt Casey Kane will be able to get off of pit road in time.
Yeah, Casey Kane has been passed.
Casey Kane has fallen way back in the pack.
He didn't fill up. He only took 99%.
Cycle out. Back in. If I can find where he cycled out at.
It was like P14. P11, actually.
P11. So he actually ended up worse than he came in on that pit cycle. So not the greatest pit strategy so far for Casey Kane. As Dale Earnhardt Jr. just ran a purple sector 2-1, I believe.
Yeah, Casey Kane started in 5th place. And that strategy really made him drop back. I see tire wear starting to set in. These drivers are going to start driving these cars a lot differently through the corners. You see their loose moments they're having on throughout the corners. But look at him, 3 wide right there.
Ooh, trying to make a pass. Bobby Labonte. He had a really fast short run car. Oh, we are 3 wide for the lead up here. Junior is going to go for the lead. Oh, look at the run by Gordon on the outside. Gordon clears him back.
Perfectly.
Gordon's trying to
amazing move.
Hold him off. Here goes Junior trying to take another look at it. The Senior is underneath of Labonte for that 4th spot, and he's going to get it. Here goes Junior trying to make a move to the inside again. Doesn't quite get there. Ooh, little nudge from Burton to the back bumper of Junior. Oh, we got some smoke back there. They are racing hard.
You're really starting to see how the tire wear is affecting the racing here. You're starting to see the drivers that saved a little bit more tire than other drivers getting chances to go after the lead and things like that, making up position on the drivers that didn't necessarily save their tires very well. But you have to really think about it. We're focusing on the top 3 right now in the field, but you still have Dale Earnhardt, you have Dale Sr. and Terry Labonte and Bobby Labonte in the fray here, just waiting for those drivers up front to either get in a crash, make a mistake, or use too much of their tires, and I think they will be right in the hunt for the win of this race.
These 3 up front, this podium right now, I think have been in a class of their own this race. I would be very surprised if you were to bet against anyone other than this top 3, because Jeff Gordon, he started in the back and ran his way all the way front. Has the fastest lap of the race. He has a really, really fast car. So does Jeff Burton and Dale Earnhardt Jr. So I think one of these 3 is definitely going to win this race. They have been in a class of their own. As you see, they have built a good gap over the rest of the field, even with them racing as hard as they have been.
Yeah, that's very true. But Bobby Labonte, Dale Earnhardt, and Terry Labonte are scrapping back there for 4th position.
Junior's going to make a move to the inside. Well. Junior back to the 2nd. Will he be able to take that run to the lead? Ooh, he's trying to get to his quarter panel.
These drivers are racing really hard right now. Imagine when points are on the line.
There he goes to the inside with the 3/10 faster.
In there, couldn't quite stick it in. Trying, they're working on him.
Trying to use the apron to turn the car a little bit better. 15 out of 20 laps into this race.
Look how far they sit into the corner. Really deep sideways swing in the back end. Gets back on the gas. Dale Earnhardt, Dale
Jeff
Jr.
Gordon got it. Oh, they're coming in the pit stops again. This might be the final pit stop of this race.
100%. Let's see what's happening here. 5 laps to go in this race. Casey Kane stays out again.
Casey Kane is staying out on the racetrack again.
I think he saved more fuel than he did the last time.
Let's see if they're going to take tires for this final run or not. They
Miles.
are not.
Miles. Wow, he's smoking the car, smoking the tires. I think he saved more fuel than he did the last run, if I'm positive.
Casey Kane might actually be able to take a lot less fuel and gain some track position, but just as far as he fell back last time during the green flag pit cycles, I doubt, as Dale Earnhardt Jr. actually jumped Jeff Gordon in the pit.
And Jeff Burton, actually. Jeff Burton, not with the fastest stop he would have wanted. Terry Labonte jumps Bobby Labonte, jumps his brother and Dale Sr.
That Evernham team is taking some swinging from the fences here on the pit strategy, so let's see how he'll be able to turn out. He is going to be able to take a lot less fuel. Maybe he will take tires since he can take a shorter amount of fuel. And tires might be able to help him out.
We really got to keep our eyes on the lead of the pack right now. Dale Jr. as he is coming around turn 3.
No tires for Casey Kane around turn 3.
How much gas is he going to take? It's very pivotal. Very pivotal. How much gas is he going to take? Can he make it to the end of the race? Can any of these drivers make it to the end of the race?
Whoa, and looks like Casey Kane.
Oh my gosh.
Casey Kane is going to cycle out inside the top 5, I believe. 4 spot.
Oh my gosh.
Now maybe get past for 5th. No, he slides up in front of Labonte.
Casey Kane has cycled out 4th.
Gained 7 spots under that pit cycle as we got Jeff Gordon is making some moves here for first place.
Let's look at the tire wear difference. Is there much tire wear difference between Jeff Gordon and some of these other guys up?
Casey Kane has a lot better right front than anyone else in the top 3, so that may help him actually.
Yeah, saved a lot of tire. A lot more compared to these other drivers.
He is gaining on these leaders now.
Oh my gosh.
He is there with them. Casey Kane, a pit strategy that me and you thought was very, very surprising. May actually gain some spots here at the end, but he is under the clutches of Terry Labonte here as they are in a 3-car battle for 3rd place.
That is, Casey Kane has pulled a very interesting move. I don't know. I can't really say that it was a good idea, but nudges him out the way. See, that's the thing that's interesting. Casey Kane had a decent qualifying effort. Didn't necessarily have the fastest car on track, but he didn't have the slowest. But he's been kind of falling back through the pack. I guess he had a little bit of adjustments, a little bit of things he worked on with the car throughout the pit stops, and I think he's made up some time.
Yeah, he's actually with this lead pack right now. He ran a 54.9 last night, or last...
Oh my gosh.
Whoa, to the lead!
Oh my gosh.
What a move with 2 laps to go at the line.
He just moved Jeff Gordon and Dale Jr. out of the way.
Jeff Gordon and Dale Jr. are not going to be happy about that. Casey Kane
is the leader
taking
of the race.
the lead with 2 laps remaining. Who is it going to be? Will the strategy pay off? Or will one of these drivers slip past?
Those drivers are
racing hard.
Their right side tires are becoming non-existent. Really, really worn.
Look how much better tires Casey Kane has than Jeff Gordon.
Their right front especially.
Gordon with a good run down this back straightaway. Will Kane be able to hold him off?
It depends on how flat out Jeff Gordon can stay. If Jeff Gordon can really keep that car flat out in that dirty air, he might be able to pay dividends. Depends on how he takes this corner.
Gordon trying to go for back-to-back wins. The only other driver to do so is Ryan Newman in the first 2 races of this exhibition season. Kane looking for his first. Gordon goes to the inside as they come to the white flag. 1 to go at Blue Moon.
Terry Labonte hits pit lane. I think he's not. Some of these drivers didn't
get
enough fuel.
To the inside. What will Gordon do to try to win this race? Final lap.
Gordon doesn't have enough tire. He's trying to use up
him
Casey
into turn
Kane.
1, sends him up the racetrack.
Still side by side.
Into the wall.
He's going to have to get a run down the backstretch. He's got to get a run down the backstretch. Can he keep it flat out? Is his tires going to be able to hold up?
Come on, get alongside him in turn 2.
He has to get alongside him, and I think he's going to tuck in and wait. I think if he waits till turn 3, sends it in hard, he might have to move him. I think that's the only way he's going to get around him. He's going to have to move him.
Right now.
He's going to have to move him. He's going to have to move him. He's going to send it to the inside.
Dale Earnhardt clips it.
Couldn't get there.
Jeff Gordon couldn't get there.
Casey Kane drives off the corner.
Off the final
turn. In his second start, In his second career start, Casey Kane will win here at Blue Moon Bay Speedway. Oh my gosh, an
What a
unbelievable
thriller!
fashion.
And up to the line, Burton's gonna finish third in his second start. Bobby Labonte fifth, Dale Jarrett sixth, Newman seventh, Rusty Wallace eighth, ninth, and 10th is Tony Stewart. What a finish to this race! Casey Kane takes home his first career win in the GTO Winston Cup Series.
In his second career start, Miles, in the GTO Winston Cup
Jeff
Series.
Gordon came up just short. Let's take another look at this final corner. He looked
Jeff
to the
Gordon
inside,
sent it in hard.
barely.
See, that little bit of tire made a difference. He was able to maintain that speed on the high side, maintain the run, just barely clear
Look at
Jeff
this
Gordon.
run to the line here between Jeff Burton and Dale Earnhardt Jr.
I think Dale Jr. ran out of gas.
Let's take a look at Dale Jr.'s telemetry. Yes, he is
He's
actually out of gas.
It cost him a podium.
Cost him a podium here. So fuel mileage made some differences at the end of this thing too. But what a finish here tonight. What a race. Casey Kane brought home the victory. Jeff Gordon come up just short. But so happy. Dodge has now won 3 races, and Chevrolet has only won 1 race. Ford and Pontiac have still yet to win. But let's see if they will be able to come up soon. But thank you for... It's a very good race here tonight. And just thank you all for watching here in the GTO Winston Cup Series. We hope to see you back in our next race, which I believe is Route X, which should be a pack racing, a really, really tough track. We're going to see how these drivers will handle that. But thank you again for watching, and thank you again for joining me, Rashad. And we will see you next time. Thank you for watching the GTO Winston Cup Series.